Dr. Martin, and today we will be discussing the thesis statement. So our first question is, what is a thesis statement? So let's look on the board here at my nifty sentence. A thesis statement is a 1 to 2 sentence summary of the point, and this is important, the point of your essay. So now we're going to watch a short video that explains more about the criteria and elements that you need to include in your thesis statement to make it solid and effective. So now we're going to look at some examples of ineffective and effective thesis statements. Okay, so now, as should appear on your screen, are 3 examples of ineffective and effective thesis statements. So let's take a look at these more closely. Number 1, ineffective thesis statement because it is too broad and does not identify the writer's specific point about the topic. Affirmative action is very controversial. Here is the revised, more specific, clear thesis statement. Affirmative action is still controversial because many colleges and universities still base admission on race, ethnicity, and gender. Now let's look at number 2, which is also an ineffective thesis statement. This time it is not really debatable, meaning most people are not going to disagree with this statement. Smoking cigarettes is harmful to one's health. Even smokers would probably agree that smoking cigarettes is not healthy. So let's look at the revised effective thesis statement, which is much more clear and actually presents a debatable claim. The age limit for purchasing cigarettes should be raised from 18 to 21 years of age. Doing so will help young people from smoking. As I have there in the brackets, this statement is much more specific, as well as, going back to my first point here, debatable. People, especially young people, would probably disagree with this. Number 3, ineffective thesis statement because it is too broad and, again, it is not debatable. Teenagers are dangerous drivers. Here is a revised, more specific, and debatable thesis statement. Teenagers are dangerous drivers because they text too much while driving. So keep these examples in mind as you write your own thesis statement for any type of essay. You want it to be clear and focused, and the thesis statement should represent the scope of your essay. In other words, going back to number 1, the ineffective thesis statement, affirmative action is very controversial. You could write an entire volume of books about this claim. So you want to narrow it down to a very specific sentence and a very specific claim. So again, if your essay is, let's say, 5 pages, you don't want a broad thesis statement like number 1 because you cannot possibly cover every point of that thesis in a 5-page essay. So again, keep focused, be very specific, be very clear, be very debatable. As the video illustrates, I just reorganized the points here. And go out and practice. You will need to revise your thesis statement probably many times, especially after you write your essay. I have seen many, many great essays with many, many great points. The problem is none of them have anything to do with the thesis statement. Okay, so now that we have reviewed the definition of a thesis statement, have watched a short video that includes the criteria and elements of an effective thesis statement, and have reviewed some examples of ineffective and effective thesis statements, it is now time for you to go out, practice, write your own. And as always, email me with any concerns that you have, and good luck. I look forward to reading your essays. Thank you.